So website crashes and outages are something that we absolutely want to avoid at all costs. And there are various different things you can put into place to help mitigate the issues of website crashes and outages. But let me just give you some examples of how this can have a massive effect if you don't prepare for it. Instagram experienced a 4-hour outage affecting 2.4 million users. Reddit had a 6-hour disruption impacting 1.2 million users, and Spotify went down, affecting 489,000 users. So these incidents highlight the importance of robust infrastructure and proactive measures to prevent website crashes, including thorough testing, load balancing, and effective traffic management strategies. So what are some of the most common causes that have a website crash or go offline? We've got things like traffic spikes, server overload, software bugs and compatibility issues, cyber attacks, hardware failures, and poor hosting management. Now, the impact of a website crash on a business can be incredibly frustrating, but to make things worse, the financial or reputational impact can be much farther reaching. The brand may suffer from decreased customer trust, SEO penalties, and recovery costs. But what can you do to help prevent our websites from crashing? Well, here are some important considerations. Choosing reliable web hosting providers, regular software updates and maintenance, especially with WordPress, utilizing a content delivery network or CDN, and effective traffic management. Now we're going to take a look at some of these options today using Cloudways. Now they have sponsored this video, but as always, I'm not going to give you any opinions. I'm just going to go through some of the options you have available so you can make a more informed decision for yourself. So one of the key things here, I think, is to choose reliable hosting that has several key factors in place. You want to have high uptime guarantees, scalability options, especially if those scalability options are easy, robust security measures, efficient resource allocations, especially when you have multiple sites on one hosting plan, and also 24/7 customer support. Never underestimate how important support is when you need it. You need it to be available. Now, one of the key areas we've talked about is scalability, something that scales as and when you need it. Now, let me just clarify quickly what I mean by scaling. Let's say your website is ticking along quite nicely and your resources are perfectly inside the plan that you have. Now, let's say you have a new product launch or something along those lines, and you see traffic start to rise as your marketing efforts are put out. The last thing you want is your site to go offline. So you need to have some way of being able to scale the server resources needed, whether that's bandwidth, consecutive connections, all those kinds of things, without the involvement of yourself. Let's just say it's 3 o'clock in the morning and your marketing's gone out to a different country and suddenly you have a spike in traffic, your site goes offline. You don't know anything about it until you wake up to tons and tons of frustrated emails or missing orders. Now, how do we handle that effectively? Well, you could use something like Cloudways Autonomous. Now, what Cloudways Autonomous does is it automatically scales for you. So this means if there's a surge of visitors, this is all handled behind the scenes. You don't have to be there at 3 o'clock in the morning trying to deal with this surge in traffic. This is something that can be incredibly useful. So what does it offer you and what kind of pricing do we have? So what exactly does Autonomous offer? Well, first of all, and what I would consider to be one of the most important things here is the hands-off. You don't need to be available to handle the scaling side of things. It's done automatically for you. So it's truly auto-scaling, just built on Kubernetes with high traffic WordPress hosting solutions to handle any traffic spike and number of concurrent users without any human interaction. Now, the concurrent users is an important thing. Spikes in traffic can be for various different things. Multiple people trying to check out on the same page at the same time, or if you've got something like a learning management site, multiple new students or students accessing a course all at the same time, especially when you release a new one. The last thing you want is to go offline right at that pivotal point. It also remains highly available. So Autonomous is designed for the high availability of WordPress sites. With advanced load balancing, your applications remain online and accessible regardless of the demand. So again, hands-off, auto-scaling, and high availability. 3 key factors that you want in place when you want your website to handle high traffic. So if you want to see some real-world use cases and feedback from people that are using Cloudways Autonomous, I'll link some of these in the description down below. But this one, for example, from Spitfire Competitions, has gone from having frequent crashes when they're running a competition, and it allows them to double down on their UX to make sure that everything is in place as and when anyone that visits the site, it's available. So, how easy is it to actually set up Autonomous? It's very easy. For example, I've already got several applications or websites on one of my Cloudways servers. If you don't have this, you can set up a Cloudways account, add your first website or application, and follow along exactly how this all works. But all you need to do is simply come in and you can see we've got Autonomous Apps. Click on Get Started. This will give you information about the different features. It'll show you the pricing plans. You can see we can choose a plan. There's all the plan information, what you get with it, the different locations. All the plans include these various different features, any additional charges that may be applied if you go over the allotted amount of resources you have in whichever plan you choose. But all you need to do is click on Get Started on the relevant plan. This will then give you the information, hit the Confirm Plan, and you're basically done. You don't really need to do anything more than that. You'll have Autonomous running with those options available, and then if your site needs to scale in the background, it can do it for you. Now, another incredibly useful and incredibly powerful set of options available to you are Cloudflare Enterprise and also Object Cache Pro. Using these in conjunction with each other can help really alleviate a lot of the issues you may find with a website. Caching means that it's faster to load and pages are available. You have a CDN network then via Cloudflare, which means that wherever anybody is, the information could be loaded very, very quickly. All we need to do is come into our add-on section, which again is inside our normal account, and you can see Cloudflare is listed. All we need to do is click on Learn More. This will then say supercharge your site's speed with Cloudflare security. So all we need to do is say go to application listing. So what we need to do now is choose the application. We'll choose my Learn Bricks Builder site. We'll pick the option for Cloudflare on the left hand side. This will tell us then all the options we have as part of Cloudflare Enterprise, also including the pricing. As you can see, this starts at $4.99 per month for up to 1 to 4 sites and goes up beyond from there. But this gives you that ability to have not only the fast CDN side of things and image optimization, you also have DDoS protection, you have edge page cache, mobile optimization, and also managed WAF. These give you extra security things in place alongside if you want to use something like Autonomous. Again, helping you alleviate those issues that may cause your website to crash or go offline with surges in traffic and so on. So if you choose to use Autonomous to handle all the scaling in the background, let's take a quick look at a test site that I've got set up and some of the features that can help you. So this is a WooCommerce store that I've got set up. It's just a demo site just to demonstrate how these things work. But you'll notice we get information about the disk usage, the visits and the bandwidth, so we can monitor all this information. We can click and dig a little deeper, and inside here we've got some quick statistics and staging management should you want to create a staging site to test everything out before you make real live changes. But if we hop into the Performance tab, you'll see we've got 2 features inside here that are going to help. First of all, we've got the Object Cache Pro. This is integrating into WordPress itself and the dashboard of WordPress. So this is going to help optimize your database to give you a nice fast loading website and handle various different aspects. You'll also notice that we've got the full page caching and CDN or content delivery network that's part of Cloudflare. This is automatically added in to your application using Autonomous. If we hop over into the workflow and tools section, the first thing in here is backup and restore. Now, it's always very important to have backups available for your store or whatever website you've got. So you can see it's very easy. We can create a backup right now if you want to. So let's say we're making some changes. We want to make sure everything is okay. Create a backup, make our changes. If there's any problem, you can simply come into restore and restore it from here. All very, very easy. And if you want to see the raw access information about your site, simply come into the overview section, and underneath you'll see there's our resources. This will show us the total visits over the last month, the total disk space that's been used, and the bandwidth that we've used as well. So all the data you should need to make informed decisions is all inside here. But I say the whole scaling side of things is being handled automatically by Autonomous, so you don't have to worry if there's a spike in traffic. So let's recap on the key points of what we've covered in this video. The most important thing when it comes to a website is making sure that it doesn't crash or go offline for various common reasons, things like traffic spikes, server overloads, and so on. Having the ability to automatically scale without our need to be there and have hands-on experience to make changes, especially if you're not that tech savvy, something like Autonomous is going to make that really super easy. You don't have to worry about it. It's handled in the background for you. As you need more resources, it'll scale upwards, and as you reduce, it'll scale back down for you. Now, if you tie in Autonomous to some of the other features you've got, like the CDN, the Object Cache Pro, the various different backup options that we have, DDoS protection using Cloudflare, and all those other things, using something like Autonomous just makes the whole process of dealing with your website, handling the security, handling the scaling, and all those things in the background without you need to mess around with it, a lot easier. Now, if you want to find out more about Cloudways Autonomous and all the various different features it brings to the table, you can take a look at the details in the description down below. Everything you should need is there. If you want to find out more about working with Cloudways, you can check out this playlist where I cover lots of different features they've got available. As always, my name is Paul C. This is WPTuts, and until next time, take care.